Hello everyone, and welcome to my new Sanctuary Chimps Black Border Guide, where we will be using Churchill and Bloon Exclusion Zone to absolutely destroy this map. First, we have the hardest part of the run, which are the starting dart spots. This guy just goes as top right as possible here, kind of, but in a way so that the left hand is kind of on top of this line over here. There aren't really many visual indicators for it, so you kind of just gotta trust this spot. This spot will not cause you to lose most of the time, but it is still somewhat specific. And then we've got the hardest dart spot of the run, which is this guy, the middle one. This guy just goes as low as possible, while making sure that the range border, the inside of the range border, touches the outside of this little, like, pedal thing on the platform. And you can see just a little bit of the platform here on the left next to the water here. This is the most important visual indicator to get right, because for some reason, because this map is stupid, depending on how many times you press the restart button, this visual indicator here on the right with like the pedal on the platform can change, so this isn't always accurate. But if it's your first time going into the map, it is accurate. This left one is the most reliable one to use, and then just put it as low as possible. This guy is by far the most precise. And then the last dart just goes right over here, while making sure that, or just as left as possible, while making sure that the outline, the yellow out, or not the, that's not yellow, the white outline on the dart monkey touches the line here on the platform. These dart spots are fairly tight, and are probably the hardest part of the run. So if you get past round 10, the rest isn't that bad. For round 7, get long range darts on your middle dart. And you can beat round 6 with spots that are slightly off. On 7, you cannot. You will lose if your spots are wrong, which is quite annoying. For round 8, set your right dart monkey to last, and then just get a 4th dart monkey, just as top left as possible here next to your other one. And then, for round 9, this guy just goes as top left as possible here. If you might lose on round 9, and that is because of this dart spot. It is possible to lose because of this dart spot. But it's very rare, and if you have your spot right, you just can't lose. And then on round 10, sometimes you'll have to place a sniper mid-round, sometimes you won't, just depending on your spots. So just be ready to place a sniper here, and yes, do it on this platform. But you shouldn't always have to. Here I didn't have to, but if something gets past and your dart monkey is unable to snipe it, just place it down. And once you get it down, just set it to strong and you should be good. For round 13, get yourself a sub right over here, just as low as possible here, in the middle I guess, and then get longer range on it. We're going to turn this guy into an airburst, so yeah, just a 202 airburst. Also on 13, you might have to switch your sniper to first if something gets past here, past on the left, because this dart cannot hit it. But it's rare that you do have to do that. For 15, get advanced intel. And you should not have to micro your sniper at all this round. And then get twin guns after 16. '18 might look a bit close, but you should be fine. That's the closest I've ever seen it get there. Usually it's not nearly that close. And then for 21, take it slow, and get airburst just as soon as you can, and be ready to switch your sniper to first. And always be prepared for an airburst dart to just come out of nowhere and just snipe a balloon for no reason. It'll do that sometimes. Sometimes you'll have to switch your sniper to first to catch some leaks, though. It is possible to lose on this round, from my knowledge. 22 and 23 are completely free, but for 23, get full metal jacket on your sniper and enhanced eyesight on your dart, just so we can kill the camo on 24. 25, this round can also look fairly sketchy, so be ready to micro your sniper to first if you think you have to. In 99.9% of cases, you won't have to. Same thing for 27. Usually you should be completely fine because the sub should kind of just like snipe the exiting Bloons kind of, but usually you won't have to micro your sniper at all. There, it seemed like I had to, but I don't think I actually had to. But if you do have to switch your sniper to first, always set it back to strong afterward. And then on 29, just get Churchill right over here as bottom right as possible next to your camo dart. Try to get him down fairly quickly, and the spot isn't super specific. The buffs they gave recently to Churchill do hurt his early game a little bit, but they actually make his late game a lot better. Like, his late game and mid game are significantly stronger than they were before. For 32, get crossbow. I'm pretty sure you could actually do this last round. The crossbow is mostly just for the extra range, so we have more camo intel, but I guess it helps too. And then, for 34, get triple guns on your sub. And then, for 35, get yourself an alchemist right over here. And upgrade it to larger potions and set it to strong. This guy will end up becoming an alch buff on Churchill, but we're not going to get it quite yet. And what we're going to do for round 40 is we're also going to give our sub an alch buff, but we're also not going to buy that yet because we want both of the buffs to fire immediately on round 40, just for the most consistency. So pretty much we're just going to be surviving these next few rounds with technically a setup that's less good than it could be. But it's just to make 40 consistent. On 37, when the leads come out, just use the AP shells. You should be good. Shouldn't have to, but might as well. Same thing on 38, when the leads come out, just use AP shells. And then, finally, after round 39, upgrade your alchemist here to a 320. And then get an alchemist above your sub here and upgrade it to a 301. And then just use AP shells. The Moab should just melt. It's kind of funny. And now we're going to start going for our Bez save up, which is just Bads, the tier 4. So let's just start getting a Dartling down here. Lock it in place up here in the middle, and just start upgrading it to a 202. Or just a 203 buckshot, I guess, and then we'll get Bads. On 43, go ahead and use an AP shells. You probably shouldn't have to. Sub early game plus Churchill is OP as heck, so you should be good. Get buckshot here on 45. On 47, you can also use AP shells. Probably don't have to, but might as well. Same thing on 49. Might as well just use AP shells on the ceramics. Same thing on 50. Might as well use AP shells on the Moab. I accidentally fast forwarded it, but you can AP shells the Moab. And then just get Bads before the second Moab. And from here, the run is pretty much completely free. There are a few abilities until Bez, but not too many, and the timings are not tight whatsoever. And now, get a Camo Village right here. Just a 220. And then, down here, get an Alchemist, and just upgrade it to a 401. The reason we're getting 401 here as opposed to 420 is that this crosspath just has more uptime on slower attacking towers, and yes, Bads does count as a slower attacking tower. And just the final thing we'll get before the Bez save up is a Jungle Drums village right up here for Churchill. I'll see you on round 63 when we actually have to do something. For 63, the easiest way to beat this round is just to set Bads to target independent, and then I guess you can also use AP shells on What the heck? I've never seen it get that close. That is insanely weird. Yeah, you can also just use AP shells whenever you want, I guess. That first wave is super weird. I've never seen it get that close, and I've tested this mid-game about 5 to 10 times. It might just be some weird alk buff timing thing, but that should not happen normally. And then after 63, set your bads locked back in the middle, and I'll see you on 75. Alright, so for 75, what we gotta do here, once the first group of 3 BFBs is out, use level 10, and then use level 3 when they pop. This should be at about the same time as the first fortified Moabs, so if you want to just do it slightly after that, that also works. This round should just be a complete joke if you use those two abilities. And then for 76, AP shells just off cooldown, and you should be good. On 77, if you want to use an AP shells, I guess you can. I will, but you shouldn't have to. I would just for safety, though. On 78, use AP shells for both ceramic waves. And it is actually possible that Churchill will just completely one-shot half the wave. He does that sometimes, so that's cool. Yeah, use AP shells on both waves. I almost forgot, and that almost cost me. So yeah, just use it before both waves, or just whenever you see them show up. For round 80, just use level 10. And you should be good. Churchill should just deal with the BFB. Or the BFBs. But yeah, 81. Once only like the big wave of BFBs at the end of the round is on screen, so once they start to get a lot tighter, use AP shells, and that should just completely wipe out the round. Churchill used to absolutely struggle to these two rounds, but now with the recent buffs, he's actually doing really, really well versus them, which is a nice improvement. Once you count 3 fortified BFBs on screen, use his level 10, and then level 3 right afterward. You should have just 2 fortified BFBs left, and those get destroyed with ease. On 83, you don't have to use an AP shells, but I'd recommend it. And then on 64, definitely not 64. Just get Bez once you can afford it. Boom. Bez acquired. The rest of the game is now deleted. So, because Ninja Kiwi is silly and Bez can't pop lead, we have to buy an MIB here. From here, we're going to upgrade our top village to a 320 primary training with radar scanner, which is weird because we don't have any primary towers yet, and all of our towers up here can see camo. That's because next we're getting a 024 Relentless Glue set to strong, and we do need that to be able to affect DDTs. Bez's main weakness is DDTs, so pretty much anything we get after this point is just to help with those. You should be able to get Relentless Glue with Glue Splatter on 92. And now from here, we're just gonna get an Overclock down here. The spot doesn't really matter, just as long as it's not taking any alk buffs, you're good. This is probably just the safest spot to put it. If you want to use an AP shells on 93 and 95 when the DDTs show up, go for it, but I'm not entirely sure if you have to. I'd just recommend it, though. For 94, you shouldn't have to use any abilities, but might as well just for fun. Use level 10 on the ZOMGs, and then once everything starts to converge in the middle, just AP shells. We're more doing this just to pad Churchill's stats a little bit, and not out of, like, actual necessity. AP shells the DDTs on 95 if you'd like. I'm going to, but not always required. Relentless should pretty much just be perma-stunning them, which is very useful. On 96 here, get Overclock, and then use Overclock on the ZOMGs, or just whenever they show up. An overclocked Bez pretty much just solos the entire game and Churchill becomes completely useless, but it's funny. On 98, use level 10 when all the ZOMGs are on screen, and when things start to reach the middle, use Overclock again. And you shouldn't have to AP shells, but if you want to just clear the round a bit faster, you can. Then also, spend the rest of your money on whatever you want. It literally doesn't matter. On 99, just overclock off cooldown very quickly, because Bez will struggle to the fortified DDTs if you don't do that. And then for round 100, just target independent, level 10, and AP shells. Spend the rest of your money on whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Boom. With that, you should now have your Sanctuary Black Border with the most goated strategy of Churchill and Bez. I hope this guide helped you out in some way. Have a nice rest of your day, and goodbye. Bruh, wrong button.